What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman III of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. It is Wednesday, July 31st, and today was practice number 8 for the Packers, and it was another hot one out there. Sunny and high 90s, perfect day for some football if you can weather the heat, and that's just what Coach wanted for his squad today was seeing if he could stick it out there in the hot weather. So he said it would be extra long today, which they went. Practice went on for just over 2 hours, and it was hot, to say the least. Before we dive in, let's head over to the comments and say what's going on. Thank you guys for tuning in. Kelsey over on Instagram, thanks for hopping on, checking out the show. I appreciate you. Jason over on Instagram as well. What is up, Rob? What is happening, my man? Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Aiden, what is up? What's up, Aiden? How you feeling about the squad so far? Things are getting exciting. We're 8 practices in already, which is crazy to say. Preseason's right around the corner. And shortly after that, we're heading down to Brazil to be the second football game of the season after Thursday night's game against I think it's the Chiefs and Texans, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, let's talk about some practice, huh? Tucker Kraft, he did not practice today. He hasn't practiced yet so far. Tore his pec earlier this offseason. But some good news is that Coach said he is getting close. And Kraft has been asking just about every single day to practice. So hopefully it is sooner rather than later that we'll see Tucker Kraft out there on the field. But our training staff, they always side on the more cautious end when it comes to any sort of injury. So hopefully we'll see him out there next week or shortly after. So only time will tell. A special guest today at practice, the one and only Jordy Nelson and his family stopped by to check out the squad. And whenever Jordy's in town, it's always great. So it was cool to see him on the sidelines taking it all in. Jordy, how can you not love Jordy? One of my favorite all-time Packers. So Aaron over on Facebook says, how is the first-round pick looking? And I am just about to dive in here. Jordan Morgan, our first-round draft pick from this year, he was a starter at right guard today over Sean Ryan. He seems to have found himself a little bit of a home at guard so far through training camp, and he's been holding up pretty well. Adam Stanovich, the Packers offense coordinator, said they'd like to get him used to guard before anything else, and he also added that if they ever needed to push him outside the tackle, which that was his position in college, that they would then do so. But so far he's been getting work in at guard, and he's been doing solid. So, Aaron, to answer your question, he's looking pretty good. Carrington Valentine did not practice today. Donovan Jennings also did not practice. A few notes here from the one-on-ones. Jaden Reed beat Keyshawn Nixon 3 straight times today. Romeo Dobbs, who has been going up against Jair and getting the most of him during these one-on-ones, once again beat Jair twice today. The first one being a great route from Dobbs to get the catch, and the second one, they were going at it pretty good. Jair was all over him, had great coverage, but an even greater catch by Romeo gave him the win on their second go at it. So Romeo has been making some noise all training camp, and I've said it plenty of times over the last 8 practices. He's going to have himself one heck of a year if he can continue this, and possibly even an elite year if he steadily improves throughout the season. So we all remember the run he went on during the playoffs last year. If he can pick up where he left off, I think we may have an answer as to who our wide receiver 1 might be. Not saying we need one in this offense, but he might have a little head up on the rest of the guys. So far, Romeo, he's been killing it, so it's been fun to see. Another receiver who has been just getting after it so far in camp, and you've heard me harp on it a ton, Grant Dubose. I think he's got a legit path to make this team and see the field this year to add on to that if he can keep it up. Coach said today that he came into camp with his back against the wall, and he's absolutely showing out so far. So good for Grant. Second year for Grant, and like Coach said earlier, his back was against the wall with how this receiver room was, or is, I should say. And, yeah, he's making the most of it. So good for Grant. A not-so-positive note here, Edger and Cooper dropped out of practice, and I'm not exactly sure why. I don't think anybody else knows exactly why either. Hopefully we'll find out as the day goes on. If not, we'll find out tomorrow from Coach before practice. So that will be something to keep an eye on moving forward. One of the bigger plays from practice today was Love throwing a pick to Xavier McKinney over the middle of the field. And after McKinney caught the pick, Bo Melton chased him down and forced him to fumble, which then the offense regained possession. So a big hustle play from Bo Melton. And plays like that are what gets you noticed and could be, just could be the difference in your spot on the depth chart. I think Bo's going to make the team. So if it was somebody else, maybe could be the difference in making the team, not making the team. But good for Bo Melton doing a hustle play there and forcing Xavier to fumble after he got the pick. So shout out to Bo Melton. Good on you, man. Let's see here. Love to Watson. This has been a consistent thing happening since Jordan started practicing on Saturday. It seems like those two have some good chemistry going. And if Watson can stay healthy, I'll go out on a limb here and say Watson will end up at or near the top in touchdowns this season throughout the entire league. He's that special. Somebody posted last year, I think it was Bruce Irons, talking about he has more potential than Justin Jefferson, which I know was a tongue-in-cheek post. But I don't know, man. He's going to be good. So moving on here, during team, Jordan led the offense down the field and hit Wicks for a touchdown and then hit Wicks again for the 2-point conversion. I can't even keep up with myself as far as how many receiving weapons are on this team, but we are so deep, especially a wide receiver. And after that, you throw Kraft in there with Musgrave, and we're talking 2011 Packers deep when it comes to guys who can catch the ball. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun year. Maybe they'll throw some empty out there. We can see a lot of guys 5 wide. We've got the guys to do it. Let's just do it. So finally, I'll hit up a few comments here, and then I've got to get rolling on out. If you've noticed, I'm not in my normal habitat. I am proudly reporting to you live from Green Bay this week. Always, always, always the best time in Titletown. So Alex over on Instagram, Jaden Reed news. Jaden Reed, the man of the people. He's been riding the bikes down just about every day, at least that I've been here. He's been showing out in camp too. Today he beat Keyshawn Nixon 3 times. So I think it's kind of business as usual with Jaden Reed, and he's kind of another guy. We talked about Wicks, we talked about Dubose, we talked about Bo Melton, we talked a lot about Romeo. Just got done talking about Watson. Jaden Reed too, one of those dudes. He's going to have a good year. So he's been doing good, doing solid. Nothing too crazy. I know he didn't start out training camp practicing with a toe injury that he hurt during his youth camp he held, but since he's been practicing, he's been doing good. So thank you, Alex, for the question. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. What else we got? Jeremiah, how are you, Rob? How has training camp been? It has been great. It's been a little hot, but I'm not complaining. It could be worse. It could be raining, and practice could be canceled as far as being open to the public, but it's been great. So thanks for tuning in. Sean, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Where you been? I've been keeping attendance records and haven't seen you for a while. So thanks for tuning in. How is the field goal kicking looking with Carlson? Pretty good. Him and Greg Joseph are neck and neck as far as that competition goes. I still think Andres is going to win that battle, at least at this point right now in practice number 8. But we've got a lot of time left, a lot of training camp practices left, 3 preseason games. I'm sure they'll make that decision before the latter half of training camp. But if it's as tight as this, and Greg Joseph is looking good like he has as of yesterday, he was 22 of 24. Carlson was 21 of 24, so they're right there. So it'll be a fun one to watch. So Aaron, thank you for tuning in over on Facebook. I appreciate you. James, great question. How is Rashawn Clark and the rest of the D-line looking? They're looking good. Van Ness has had great last couple of days of practice. So he's been really coming into his own, and he's been riding bikes down every day too with the kiddos. And he just looks like a monster. He's massive. He's just a big dude. Rashawn, as I'm sure if you've been keeping up with any of my posts on social media, he's been killing it. I've talked about it before. Last off season, that is, he was focused on rehabbing from his torn ACL, whereas this off season, he's been really just focusing on improving in his craft and getting better. He hasn't had to worry about rehabbing. He's been hanging out with the guys on the D line, really just focusing on getting better, which is great. And he's been killing it. He's had 2 sack days, 3 sack days, multiple times. Most of those most of the practices we've had thus far, a little over half have been non-padded. So that does kind of bode well towards the defense and the defensive line. The offensive line can't really get a hold of these guys when they're in shorts and a t-shirt. So far so good for the defensive line especially. So James, thank you for your question. I appreciate you. Chad, LFG, go Pack go. Chad, thanks for hopping in, my man. It is good to see you. Aaron, I'm coming to see training camp tomorrow. Can I meet you? I'll be down there, my man. I'll be down there. I'm not sure what the weather is supposed to be like. Let me look it up really quickly. I know earlier in the week it said it was supposed to rain, and yes, it is supposed to be 55% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, so we shall see what practice holds if there is open practice. I'm looking right now, and it doesn't say there's a rain chance in the morning. It says in the afternoon, so we shall see. Hope to see you down there, Aaron. Thank you for the question, or thanks for the comment, that is. What else we got? Trenchtown, should we be concerned about Keyshawn Nixon getting ate up 3 times in a row? I don't know. I wouldn't say concerned. The one-on-ones, I mean, it's tough. I didn't get to see all 3 of them. There's obviously a lot going on during training camp, a lot of things to keep your eyes on. But I think Keyshawn will be just fine. And on the other end of that, Jaden Reed, he's a dude. He's a dog. So I'm happy for Jaden Reed. And in these scenarios, this is kind of where, I'm not an expert. I'm a fan. I'm like, all right, good for Jaden Reed. And if Jaden Reed got beat 3 times by Keyshawn, I'd say the same thing. I'd say, you know what, good for Keyshawn. And then just kind of ignore the latter. That's kind of like when the offense scores a touchdown during training camp and the crowd cheers super loud, as opposed to when the offense throws a pick. The crowd isn't too lively compared to a touchdown, but it's kind of coinciding. It's like, well, our defense did good getting the pick, and our offense did bad, and then the offense did good getting the touchdown, and the defense did bad. So it's just kind of, I guess, who you're rooting for. So, Kaylee, go Pack, go! Thank you, Kaylee, for tuning in. Good to see you. Appreciate you guys. Coming live to you from Green Bay this week. Training camp has been fun. Eating some good food, which is great. Always a good time. So, Ethan, go Pack, go! Ethan, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in, and that's a good one to end the show on. I'm going a little shorter this week. Hanging out with the fam up in Green Bay, just kind of hanging out, chilling. So bear with me. I'll be back in my humble abode over the next couple days, doing full episodes. And, yeah, that's about that. So hopping out of here as far as the show goes, but the content never stops. I'm always posting anything Packers related all day long, so be sure to follow me at GBP Daily on every social platform. If you are not already, it would mean a ton if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel at GBP Daily as well. I'll be back at it again tomorrow, so I look forward to seeing you then. And until then, I will catch you guys later. Thank you.